It's a new football season and Cardiff City are going to be flying. Thank you for joining us on Terrace Talk. We have brand new content discussing all of Cardiff City's season. It's ready to go. Welcome to Where Bluebirds Walk. And here's a familiar face back for another season of torment and trials with the Bluebirds. It's our friend James from last season. How are you, James?
Yeah, all good, Mark. Yourself?
Yeah, ready to do this all again?
Yeah, at the moment.
This year we have got many guests popping in to give you lots of opinions, and delighted to say we're going to be joined this week by Jamie Anderson, who is a huge Cardiff fan on Twitter and spends most of his time tweeting about the Bluebirds. How are you, Jamie? Welcome to Where Bluebirds Walk.
I'm good, thank you. How are you doing?
Yeah, good, thank you. All right, let's get straight into this then. We're going to review the summer. We'll get into the transfers bit as weeks goes on. But Jamie, Errol Burrow went off on holiday, and by the time he got on the plane, he still hadn't agreed a new deal, and it took weeks and weeks for that to come through. It eventually did, but what were your thoughts on that time wasted?
I think it was more frustration for fans. Collectively, we all just wanted to know where we were going. It's probably not. It's probably well documented that it did divide opinion at times, because some of our football wasn't particularly great last year or consistent. But for me personally, I wanted him to stay. But I think it's just a common theme with our football club that our decisions seem to take longer than what they would do at any other football club. I believe that he was quite fortunate that he had, well, it seems to be an ally in the boardroom in Mehmet Dalman, who, appeared to be fighting his corner to get him a contract, which was the eventual 2 years that I think he wanted.
What was the issue, James? Are things good at the top with Tan and everything now? Is we all honky dory, or if he loses the first 4 games, are we back to where we were last February?
I mean, the thing with Tan is in the past, he's given contracts to managers. It's not worked out. So he's always been, over the last sort of couple of years, he's been very restricted with giving the bigger contracts out since sort of Warnock days, really. Obviously, Errol Bullock's come in first season, didn't know English football. Relegation battle the season before put us into a top 12 finish. The style of play was obviously a bit, hit and miss, but, we were still sort of under embargo until January, so we didn't really have a proper squad. Well, we did, but we couldn't spend money. We spent, I don't even know if we spent a little bit of money in January, but now this is the first summer we've been able to spend money properly. And look, he's brought in some good quality players, and I think through the pre-season, the style of football, we have seen a difference a bit.
Thanks for that, James. Jamie, coming back to you, how do you rate the signings as a whole so far? We'll get into them next week. We'll focus on the defenders, but as a whole, are you pleased with what Cardiff have been doing?
Yeah, most definitely. I think it goes back to experience. I think we've been stuck in the past with trying to breed some youngsters and bring some youthfulness to the club. And maybe it's not necessarily come to fluence. But yeah, I mean, you can't argue with Callum Chambers' CV. Brilliant addition. Willock, I think, is going to be an exciting player at the top end of the pitch. We saw a brief cameo from our new striker yesterday as well, Wilfred. So that should be interesting. And I believe there's probably more to come, which is great. And like you said, we haven't actually spent anything yet, which is, wages and sign-on fees, etc. But in terms of transfer fees, we've not actually spent anything. So I believe we're in talks with a number of players. So still exciting times.
And your man, James Perry, is still here.
He is still here. I thought, to be honest, there would be a bit of interest through the summer about him. Obviously, he's one of the best defenders in the division last season, but yeah, it's been very quiet on him, and along long may that continue.
Okay. All right. First game then this weekend. Sunderland are going to come and visit. Let's bring in our Sunderland fan and get their view on everything at their club. Welcome, Leo, to where Bluebirds walk. Well, do you know what? If Cardiff took a long time to appoint a manager in the summer, crikey, Sunderland took even longer. Just tell Cardiff fans where Sunderland are at right now in terms of manager and style changes. What can they expect to watch this weekend?
Well, we brought in Reggie Lebris, and he seems like a manager who can switch up tactics, who can got a couple of things in his arsenal in terms of formation and how he likes to play. I feel like we've taken on a very similar, not setup, but style of play to what we were with Mowbray, where it's all about the quick passing and the playing through teams rather than just giving it a clock and hoping like we did last season. And we are playing some really good stuff. Obviously, pre-season results are pre-season results. But in terms of what we're playing and the football that's going on, it's looking really positive.
Leo, the way to beat Sunderland, as Cardiff, I think, did at the Stadium last year, is keep Jack Clark quiet, and you kind of keep Sunderland quiet. Is that going to change this season? You've got more attacking options. Are you seeing, diversity through the midfield rather than just all down one side?
Well, I think a big thing that we were missing last season was the output from Roberts on the other side. And that's why we were having to force it down Clark's side. It's because we looked like we couldn't get anything out of the right side of our pitch. And like I say, with Roberts under Mowbray, when Amad Diallo was here, fair enough, he's a big boost. But the thing was that quick passing and the quick just nicking it round players and playing it through teams. And that's what Roberts thrives off. So when we switched up how we were playing last season, Roberts didn't get the output. And I just think we need to get some out of him, so we've got more than one option.
Okay. All right. Cheers, Leo, for that. James, how do you rate Sunderland? Do you think they're a team you're going to finish higher than this year?
Yeah, I think we can look at ourselves, to be honest, with obviously the players we brought in and, still a bit of transfer window left, and confidently say that we are going to be pushing for the top six, hopefully. And I think that's where sort of Sunderland would see themselves as well. So I think both teams will have a decent season and it could be close.
Okay, just in case Arabella is watching this, Leo, what finally from you, what formation are you likely to start with?
It's probably just going to be a 4-2-3-1. We have a very interchangeable front line in terms of Roberts could play the wing, he could play the 10, Job could play the 10, he could play striker, and so I don't know what the actual lineup's going to look like, but it's likely to be a 4-2-3-1 setup.
All right. Some score predictions for me very quickly then. Jamie, you can have the Cardiff one.
I'm going to say 2-1 home victory.
Okay. And Leo? I'm
going to say 1-0 Sunderland win. Clark to score, because at the minute we have no one else that can do that.
Still no strikers. Right, cheers for joining us, Leo. Nice one, fella.
No problem.
It's time to rate my take. Okay, this week, each week we are going to be asking you guys to rate some of the takes which Cardiff fans have on games and different views. And if you can get involved with this yourself by putting the hashtag #RateMyTake on Twitter. This week we're looking at our kits for the 24-25 season. I'll give my views on them in a second as a neutral, but James, what are your views?
Really like the home one. It's quite a smart design. Obviously, the old school badge with just the bluebird on there, and sometimes with the kits it's nice to just not have too much on there going on. Normally, like the plainest ones just look the smartest ones.
Yeah, Jamie, what about the away in the third kit for you? Happy with them?
To be honest, I think they're like Marmite. Personally, I'm not a big lover of the away one. The third one is very similar to our previous third shirt. Like I said, the general consensus has been disappointment, I would probably say, with the latter two kits. It's a big season for Cardiff City, being the 1-2-5, and it felt like the fans, they would do something a bit more, sort of more Cardiff City orientated, whether it's yellow, whether it's black. And as you can see, there's not much on those latter two kits well, in our opinion, to represent the Cardiff club.
Yeah. Grey as an away colour is an interesting choice, especially with the tartan green on it as well. And what about the tweet there? As nice as are, nothing will come close to the 96-97 home shirt. You agree with that, James?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a nice. The home one's nice. Yeah, I mean, for the away one, I think for us personally, the black and yellow away kits are the best ones, to be honest. But yeah, and I think that's what a lot of fans ask for this season, but they never listen to us, to be honest.
Okay. All right then. Let's do some added time. Finish that there. Right, let's get 90 seconds on the clock. We're going to fire some easy questions at you both, and if you can answer them with 1 or 2 words. Jamie, we'll start with you. Where will Cardiff finish this season?
8th.
James, which player has the most to prove to fans?
Callum Robinson.
Jamie, out of 10, how much faith do the fans have with the manager?
8.
Same question, James, but out of 10, the faith with the current board?
-2, is that any good?
Jamie, apart from Swansea, if I could give you a 6-0 win in any fixture this season, which one would it be?
Bristol City.
James, which team will win the championship?
Leeds.
Jamie, which team will finish 24th?
Oxford.
And James, finish the sentence. This season, I am most looking forward to
win a double over Swans.
Something you haven't done for ages. They're not happy, their fans, are they? The Swansea fans. They are very concerned. So I'll give you that. Just a quick word on the Welsh football team. Not that you may not care or not. What do you think in terms of managerial departures, and appointments, Jamie, in a nutshell?
Long overdue. Genuinely, I think it's a fresh approach, fresh idea. No disrespect to Robert Page, but he didn't help himself with his lack of tactical nous, I think.
James?
Yeah, same. I mean, obviously, I think the World Cup campaign was a disaster and he should have gone after that. So, yeah, look, obviously with Bellamy working with company, I'm looking forward to see what sort of style of football he brings. And I think with the sort of pace in the Welsh national squad, like Brendan Johnson, players like that, it could be an exciting brand of football if he gets it right.
Okay. And have you taken your Spanish flags down yet from the Euros? No?
Oh, one of them was at Bristol Rovers away yesterday.
Oh dear, never change. Right, cheers, fellas. Next week on the channel, then, we are talking about defenders. Obviously, we're going to talk about the Sunderland view, but I want your views on defensively, how sound are Cardiff this season, including goalkeepers. Thank you very much for joining us this week. We'll see you after the Sunderland game. Cheers, fellas.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, mate. Thank you.